So this is something that I've kind of been procrastinating on for quite some time, but I still want to talk about it today. So, so, in case you're not really sure what I mean, the RFK Jr. Pretty much stated that there will be a registry for people who are on the autism spectrum, mainly kids and young adults, as well as teens who if they sign up for this registry, their personal information will be sent to the government. And as an autism advocate myself, I feel like this method is very unnecessary. Not to mention, I feel like this goes against how autism advocacy should be approached, especially considering this question. How would sending personal information from a person or from their caretakers help this individual with autism? The truth is, it doesn't. And the thing is, and I'm going to get a little bit political here, but those in power like RFK Jr., who has all these worm brain ideas, are using an excuse such as all this misinformation that he's sending out, like saying that people with autism, they're not going to learn how to go on dates or play baseball or learn how to drive a car. But the thing is, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people on the other side who are going to debate me on this, and I will get to that in a second, but the thing is, signing people up for a registry doesn't solve those concerns, and I feel like this is all ignoring the main focus for being able to help people with autism. And the only thing that, as an autism advocate, as someone who has lived in experience and has done my own research involving autism, one of the best ways to be able to help people with autism is to be able to give them a good support system, like being able to have them in an early intervention program, being able to sign them up for ABA therapy, being able to have them involved with speech and occupational therapy, as well as being able to be involved in organizations like the Autism Society of Greater Cincinnati, and as well as places like Abilities First and with the Cincinnati Recreation Commission, just to name a few of the organizations off the top of my head who are professionals in helping people with disabilities. And it just really angers me that despite how there's clear evidence that not everything that RFK Jr. says is accurate, he has the nerve to be able to say that autism destroys families, when really the misinformation he spreads and the fact that he's taking away support from those families is what's going to destroy them. And I know that there are people out there that say that this individual I know does not know how to do these things and are not capable of doing these things. And I understand where they're coming from. It's scary to be able to face something as unfamiliar as autism. And I know it's a confusing process. And I know it takes a lot of time away from the things that you want to do. But here's the thing. People, if you want that individual, whether it's a child with autism, a teen, or a young adult, or even an adult with autism to be able to improve, to be able to be quote unquote normal, then there's going to need to be some sacrifices you're going to need to make in order to make sure that they have what they need to be successful. And the truth is that no matter how much you go to those Facebook groups that say, oh, we're destined to be able to find this cure and we're going to be able to solve autism for good and we're going to be able to make sure all these kids live normal lives. The thing is, no one's truly normal. There's always going to be that one person, even that stranger that you see walking across the street. I bet they have a skeleton in their closet that they aren't going to show off to anyone anytime soon. And that's the biggest thing to take away from this, is that when you get people scared and when you get people angry, that's not normal behavior. And making them not be able to gain the access to the information they need to help support their loved one, to make sure that they have the tools for success, then that's what's really going to destroy families. And another thing, and that's what people in power like RFK Jr. like to do. And I know there's another person off the top of my head that I'm thinking about that loves to do this, but I'm not going to talk about him. I'm just going to focus on RFK Jr. and the fact that he's trying to be able to get people scared, get people dependent on him, even though he knows absolutely nothing about autism, definitely shows that his priorities are not to be able to help people. It's just to help himself. Heck, even his own family doesn't love him, from all the stuff I've heard about. And lately, I've seen on one of my Facebook posts that there's this group that is dedicated to finding a quote-unquote cure for autism. That just ends up being like this, pretty much being like the modern equivalent of like a book club for people. Especially since looking through the group, I've never seen anyone involved in it that has like a professional medical background, or anyone has any expertise with disabilities like autism, like myself. And I believe I've shown my LEND program certificate that shows that I have worked with an organization that has experience with stuff like this. So I know for sure. What an expert looks like, and I know what details they use to show their expertise. And this group isn't it. So I can not to be able to just dump all over them. I can kind of understand where they're coming from. After all, being faced with something like autism, as I've said, it gets you scared, it gets you angry, it gets you confused, it gets you craving for answers. But you need to be careful on who you get that information from, because odds are, if you're going to charge in towards information that's just going to keep making you scared, keep making you angry, then odds are that's not the best place to be able to go to find the information you want. For example, there's this quote-unquote cure called Suramin that I've looked up, and I've seen that it's not even FDA approved and that it has a whole bunch of side effects. And I just have to say, do people really think that this is worth risking over finding a cure to make people normal? Because to me, this is not the way to be able to help people with autism get the help that they need and get the support that they need. This just seems like they're putting their health at risk just to be able to just to be able to take some relief off of them, and that doesn't seem morally right to me. So this is my advice to them. Don't always believe with don't always believe what people like RFK Jr. says. Don't always believe what some conspiracy theorists who talk about stuff like Sermon says. Only try to reach out to people who know autism inside and out, and try to reach out to what they believe would be the best way to help the individual that you love and that you know who has autism. Because that's really going to be the difference between success and failure. And the thing about success is that it can mean anything, whether it's success in finding happiness, success in being able to find a place where they belong in. It doesn't just have to mean success in finding marriage, or success in being able to have kids, or success at being able to drive vehicles. Success can mean anything, and just because they don't follow the same successes as other people doesn't mean they won't find success in other areas. And that's what people need to understand, especially when it comes to autism. And that's pretty much it for my rant here. I will talk about something a little bit lighter on the subject, which is being able to learn how to drive, especially if you're on the autism spectrum. And I'm going to be able to share my experiences with driving with all of you. So that's it. I'm Greg Miller, and I'll see you next time.